My beloved child, there is something I must tell you in this sacred moment, something that cannot be delayed, cannot wait until tomorrow, and can no longer be kept in silence, for the time I have appointed for you is drawing very near. In the brief span ahead, within the next 12 minutes, I will shake the atmosphere around you. You will sense something unusual, something profound, powerful, and undeniably real. That will be my presence. It will be my power reaching not only into the circumstances around you, but into the very depths of your soul, into places where words cannot reach, places that only the breath of my life can stir and transform. In that divine moment, the heavens will open. The things you once prayed for in secret, the longings you never dared to voice, even the dreams you thought were dead, they are shifting now. It is no coincidence that you are here at this very time. I have brought you to this point to prepare you for a holy unveiling unlike anything you've ever experienced before. A door is being opened. A gift from heaven is being released. And I want you to understand clearly, this is not a reward for perfection, but a gift for your faithfulness, your humility, and your trust, even in the moments when you felt at your weakest. Today I want you to hear this with clarity. I love you. Not with the fragile love that humans often give and take away, but with an everlasting, steadfast, and unshakable love. I have loved you from the beginning, when you did not yet love me, when you ran, when you doubted. I loved you when you were broken, when you failed, when you fell. My love is not based on performance, does not waver with emotion, and is never withdrawn when you feel inadequate. It flows from the very core of who I am. And because of that, it is the one thing in all creation you can neither earn nor lose. You have questioned your own worth. You've allowed the voices of others to define you. You've believed you weren't good enough, strong enough, or holy enough. But listen to your Father. I do not look at you through eyes of judgment. I look at you with the eyes of your Creator, the one who knows you inside and out, who sees your flaws and still chooses to love you with the fullness of eternity. I see beauty in you that you have yet to recognize. I see your tender heart when you pray for others, even while carrying your own wounds. I see the moments you've forgiven when no apology was ever offered. I see the silent sacrifices that no one applauded. I see and I remember. And more than that, I want you to know this. I am proud of you. Not because you've done something grand in the eyes of the world, not because you've always been right or strong or unwavering, but because you didn't give up. Because you chose to return even when everything felt hopeless. Because you opened your heart, even just a little, so that I could step in. I am proud of you, not only for what you've overcome, but because you are still here, still longing, still searching, still holding on to hope. And do you know something, my child? That quiet faithfulness has moved heaven. The things you've done in secret have echoed into eternity. You may have felt invisible, but I have seen you. And now I long to pour out upon you things you never dared to dream. Not so you will think you are worthy, but so that you will know how good I truly am, so that you will see that your Father in heaven is not only the giver, but the one who walks beside you, who comforts you, who wipes your tears, and lifts you when you can no longer stand. This moment marks the intersection between a present filled with inner turmoil and a future destined for restoration. I do not promise that there will be no storms, but I assure you that when you abide in me, no storm will ever uproot the foundation of your faith. I do not say you will never have to fight, but I guarantee you will never fight alone. For from this very moment, something has shifted. A spiritual affirmation has been sealed. A divine confirmation from heaven declares, "You are my child, loved, chosen, and covered." My precious one, once again, let your heart truly be still, so that I may say this to you with all the profound love flowing from the very depths of my heart. I am immensely proud of you. I have seen your heart, a heart that is tender yet courageous, imperfect yet always yearning to draw near to me. I know there have been days when you were so weary you wanted to give up. Nights when your soul wrestled in deep loneliness. I have witnessed the moments when you doubted yourself, questioned the path, and even wondered about my presence. But, my beloved, what pleases me is not that you have never felt weak, but that through all of it, you never let go of my hand. You still chose to walk forward, even when your feet were worn and your mind was heavy. And I want you to know, this hope, this clinging, has never been in vain. It stirred heaven. It opened the door for me to move in your life in deep and extraordinary ways. Not because you were strong, but because you refused to give up. I am proud of you for not letting anger consume your soul when you had every reason to be angry. When you were misunderstood, when you were wounded, when you could have responded with bitterness, you chose kindness instead. I saw you pressing your lips closed, withholding harsh words. I saw you swallowing your tears and choosing to love anyway. That was not an easy choice, yet you made it. And those small choices, the ones the world will never celebrate, bring joy to heaven, for they are the marks of a heart touched by true love. I also saw you standing at a crossroads, between forgiveness and resentment. I know how deeply you've been hurt. I know there were words that pierced your heart like sharp knives. And I know that forgiveness is not a one-time act, but a repeated decision made through tears and quiet obedience. Yet you forgave. Not because they deserved it, but because you understood that forgiveness is the freedom you needed for yourself. And, my child, that moves me more than you can imagine. It doesn't just shape your character. It reveals my very nature, alive within you. And when the burdens of life pressed heavily upon your shoulders, when everything seemed to fall apart, you didn't lie down and curse the world. You didn't choose the easier path of surrender. You got up, even if you staggered, even if you trembled, even if you weren't sure you could go much farther. Still you rose. Still you moved forward. Every step, no matter how small, was a spiritual declaration that you trusted me. And do you know this? Those silent steps of yours, those are the greatest steps of faith in my eyes. The quiet choices, the unseen battles, the moments when you whispered yes to me while the world around you screamed impossible. Those reached my heart in the deepest way, and because of that, I am proud. Not because of your outward achievements, but because of your quiet faithfulness in the smallest things. not because you completed something grand, but because you remained with me when all the lights went out. I see you, my child. I know you. I understand what you have let go of in order to follow the call. I see the times you chose silence instead of reacting, the times you chose prayer over bitterness, the times you chose sacrifice instead of demanding your rights. None of these have vanished like smoke. They are being gathered into a stream of blessing that I will pour out in my appointed time. What you have sown in tears will be reaped in joy. That is my promise. I have been present in every step you have taken, not only in your moments of gladness, not only in your victories, but even when you collapsed in the darkest of nights, even when you felt most lost. I never turned away. I remained with you, and I want you to know this clearly. Everything you've been through, every second of waiting, every spiritual battle, every turn that seemed to lead nowhere, none of it has been in vain. These were not coincidences. They were not the errors of fate. Each of them was measured, weighed, and permitted by me within boundaries defined by my love. You may not yet understand the reason. You may not yet see the whole picture, but I assure you, every detail of your life is being woven together by a thread of divine purpose. Not a single tear you've shed has fallen without being gathered into my hand. Not a single sigh has been overlooked. Not one moment of disappointment has escaped my gaze. And here is the wonder. I have taken even those things and used them as raw material to shape within you a new being, stronger, more humble, deeper, and closer to me than ever before. The world may only see what is on the surface, success or failure, laughter or sorrow, but I see into the depths. I see your faithfulness when no one is clapping. I see your quiet forgiveness when no one is watching. And I see the flicker of faith that still remains in you, even when everything around you says to give up. My child, I am preparing you to step into something new. A door is opening, not because you forced it open, but because I have appointed the time. You may not realize it, but every trial you've endured was spiritual training. Every season of waiting was a time of sowing, and now the harvest is near. The blessing I am about to release is not merely a reward. It is the fulfillment of my promise. It is the outcome of perseverance, the answer to silent prayers, the proof that I never forget what is offered in true faithfulness. All I ask of you now, my child, is this: do not lose your watchfulness. Keep your heart tender. Do not let the long wait dull your fire. Do not let the voices of doubt drown out the conviction within you. For if your eyes have yet to see, let your heart still believe. If your hands have yet to hold it, continue to grasp it by faith. For what I have begun, I will bring to completion. Not in your timing, but in my perfect time. Let each passing day not become a burden, but a testimony. Live as one who is already prepared, as one who knows they stand on the threshold of something great. And when I open the door, you will not be caught off guard, for your soul will have known it already. It will have felt it. It will have been anchored in the quiet. And that readiness will cause you to enter fully, not hesitating, not with regret, not carrying the residue of doubt. I also want you to understand this. Everything I have allowed to happen in your life was not to weaken you, but to deepen you. I am not seeking flawless behavior from you. I am seeking the depth of your obedience. I did not call you because you never fell. I called you because after falling, you still chose to rise and turn your face toward me. And that choice, yes, that choice alone, is enough for me to pour out my goodness from heaven upon you. My beloved child, through time and trial, you have not only stood firm but have grown in wisdom, reverence, and spiritual boldness. I have seen every step you took, every silent tear that fell, every prayer whispered in the dark when no one else was watching. And now, as you stand at the threshold of a new season, one unlike anything you've known before, I want you to know that you are ready. Not because you are perfect, but because you allowed me to refine you in the hidden places. Not because you are strong by worldly standards, but because you chose surrender, even when the path ahead was unclear. You did not reject the lessons of divine discipline. You did not flee when I allowed the fires of testing to consume what did not belong to my kingdom. Now you are stepping into something greater, not only in the magnitude of the responsibility I am entrusting to you, but in the depth of your knowing of me. My presence will no longer be something you feel only in fleeting moments, but it will become the very atmosphere you live in, breathe in, and move within each day. You will see me in the smallest details and in wide open doors that no man can shut. I will reveal myself to you in the richness of my word, in the gentle whisper that breaks the silence of night, and in the supernatural workings you once only heard about in the testimonies of others. Do not tremble at what lies ahead. Do not let your thoughts be shaken by uncertainty, for there is not a single day of your life that I have not already seen. I have ordained each of your steps in my holy book, a book not written by human hands, but authored by my will and eternal love. There is no detail in your life that is accidental. Even the mistakes you regret have not escaped my ability to transform and redeem. I do not view you through the lens of failure, but through the lens of restoration and destiny. Do you not know that every time you believed you were not enough, I saw in you a capacity far beyond what you imagined? When you felt weak, it was then that I covered you with my strength. The moments you fell to your knees, thinking you were breaking, were the very moments I was reshaping you into a new vessel, stronger, deeper, and more prepared for the glory I am about to pour out. My child, this new season is not merely a change in circumstance. It is a leap into revelation. I will lead you into spiritual depths you have never touched before. The secrets of heaven will be opened to you, not because you asked for them like one seeking knowledge, but because you have been found faithful in the little things. What you once understood only with your mind will now come alive through lived experience. Promises once only heard will become tangible realities, and you will no longer live by vague hope, but by faith, rooted in the unshakable foundation of my faithfulness. You will not walk this new path alone. I will align you with companions, those who are not intimidated by the light within you, but who will encourage it to burn even brighter. I will lead you into places where my presence has already gone before, to make a way, and in moments where it seems you are surrounded by darkness, you will remember that the light within you does not come from yourself, but from the one who dwells within you, the one who never dims, who never fades, and who never goes out. From this moment on, you will no longer measure your worth by the approval of man, but by my gaze. the gaze that has never left you since the moment I formed you with my own hands. You will no longer need to prove yourself through achievements, because I chose you long before you ever accomplished anything of significance. Everything you are about to walk into, doors, greater responsibilities, broader avenues of service, is not a burden, but a privilege. For it is I who have entrusted these things to you. And I never assign a calling without first equipping the one I've called. Do not fear if you cannot yet see the full picture. Do not be anxious if the plans remain beyond your understanding. All I ask is that you walk with me, step by step, obeying even the smallest instructions, and keeping your heart tender before me. When you obey even without having all the details, that is when you are truly walking by faith. And that faith delights me, more than any sacrifice, more than any outward success. I will lift you up, not for your pride, but that I may be glorified through your life. I will make my name known through the simplest things you do each day, the words of love you speak, the acts of kindness you sow, and even in the forgiveness you extend when no one else is watching. And finally, my child, I want you to know this. Everything in this new season, even the challenges, will be opportunities for you to see me more clearly. Nothing in your life is random or overlooked. Every detail is being woven together in the tapestry of my endless love. I am building something eternal within you, and through you, I will reach many other souls. So be strong and take heart. Do not let doubt rob you of what I am planting in your spirit. Step into the new with confidence, for I will not rest until all I have destined for your life comes to pass. My beloved child, incline your heart and listen, for I am about to open before you a treasure from heaven, one that no human mind has ever imagined, no ear has heard, and no spirit has fully tasted. The blessings I am about to pour out upon your life are not mere rewards. They are a manifestation of my overflowing grace, surpassing all your understanding. What is coming cannot be measured by old standards, for I am doing something entirely new, something even you have never dared to dream of. I have prepared things that far exceed the capacity of the old vessel. That is why, before I fill you, I had to reshape you, to make you capable of containing what heaven is about to release, without breaking, without spilling. You thought the past seasons were setbacks, but in truth, they were times when I was expanding your spiritual territory, deepening the foundations of your faith, so that now you may stand firm and receive a divine outpouring unlike anything you've known before. You are not merely being blessed, you are being invited into deeper waters, where my presence is no longer a concept, but a living reality that surrounds you. And my child, the greatest treasure is not found in material blessings, though they will come in abundance. It is found in me. I will reveal myself to you in a new, living, and powerful way. The stories you once only heard others tell about me, you will now live them firsthand. The whispers you once heard as faint breezes will now become clear declarations, thunderous in your spirit, not to frighten you, but to anchor you and fill you with joy. I will speak with you as a father speaks to his dearly loved child, intimately, closely, and uninterrupted by the noise of the world. You will sense my guidance not only in your major decisions, but even in the smallest details of your life. You will recognize my hand working silently in what may seem like chance encounters, in doors that open without reason, and even in the dreams of the night, through which I will speak hidden things to your heart. I will open your eyes to see me, not only in the miraculous, but also in the ordinary. You will perceive my presence, woven through every moment, every step, and every breath you take. You are now standing at a sacred crossroads, not merely a shift in seasons, but a transformation in the very level of presence and power that surrounds you. This is not simply a new chapter in your story. This is a divine turning point. A moment where you move from being a seeker to becoming a bearer. From being a recipient, you are now being commissioned. And from following the path, you are being called to prepare the way for others to walk into the light. Your life itself shall become a living testimony of my power and my mercy. Let your heart rise with an unrestrained expectancy that is not bound by fear. Do not measure my ability by your limitations. Do not believe that you must understand everything before you can trust. Believe simply because you know that I am the one who never changes. It is that very faith, the kind that walks forward without having to see, that will unlock wonders in this season. Let your spirit rise above the weariness. Shake off the doubts the enemy tried to sow in your vulnerable moments. Stand tall, my beloved, for now is the time to receive what has never been given before. I have not come merely to bless you. I have come to reveal my glory in you and through you. I have come to show the world what I can do through a heart fully surrendered to me. I am not looking for the perfect. I am looking for the willing. And you, my child, are ready. You have paid a price in the secret places. You have been faithful in small things. You chose forgiveness when bitterness would have been justified. You chose endurance when quitting seemed easier. And I, the one who never overlooks even the smallest act done out of love, will take every hidden offering and turn it into a spiritual resonance that shakes the darkness around you. So, my child, prepare your heart for the new. Do not trap your thoughts in the old frameworks. Do not let familiarity choke out the supernatural. Let me shatter every boundary. Let me rewrite your story in heaven's own way. What you are about to enter will require deeper trust, but it will also release deeper joy. A joy not rooted in circumstances, but flowing from vibrant communion with me. I will be the light upon your path, the voice in your wilderness, the fire in your night, and the one who never leaves your side, not for a single moment. I am doing something new, a marvelous work, an unprecedented masterpiece upon the earth. And I am doing it through you. Not because you are sufficient in yourself, but because you have allowed me to be your sufficiency. Walk forward with steadfastness, for what you are about to experience will not only transform your life, but become a testimony that calls many other souls back to me. You are the living confirmation that my grace is still enough, that my love is still alive, and that I am still moving powerfully on this earth through those who surrender wholly. My beloved, now that you have entered into a season filled with revelation and divine visitation, I want you to stop seeing your life through the limited eyes of the flesh. Lift your eyes, stretch your vision beyond the boundaries of circumstance, emotion, and memories that once made you hesitate. Learn to see with eyes of faith, eyes that can perceive what I am doing even when the world around you sees nothing. Faith is not merely a belief held in the heart. but a way of living, a rhythm of breath, an attitude of a soul that knows. I reign over every season, and that every season must bow before me. Believe that nothing happening around you is by accident. Everything is being orchestrated by me, carefully and wisely, to bring you closer to the fulfillment of my promise. The things that once troubled your mind, the broken pieces you tried to hide, the barren seasons you endured, each of these will be transformed by my hand into living testimonies of my redemptive power. I am causing all things to align in your favor, not because you deserve it, but because I am faithful, and because of my unwavering love for you. No hindrance can stop what I have destined for your life. Where there was once lack of love, lack of support, lack of hope, I will fill with heavenly abundance. Not merely material provision, but a fullness of spirit, of peace, of unshakable joy. I will make you a vessel that overflows, not merely a receiver, but a channel. That which was once taken from you, the opportunities you thought had slipped away, the relationships that fractured, I will restore them, and beyond that, I will transform them into signs that bear witness to my glory. No longer will you borrow joy from fleeting moments, for you will carry joy within you, bringing it to others. Where you once thirsted, I will make a spring flow. In the places marked by sorrow, I will bring laughter. I have not overlooked your tears. Each one has been recorded in my sacred journal. And I have promised to wipe away your tears with the tender hand of a loving Father. I will not only heal your wounds, but I will cause life to flow from them. The pain you have carried will not be wasted. It will become oil for the weary, and a testimony from your lips that awakens hearts long asleep in hopelessness. In the soil of chaos, I will breathe divine order. You will no longer be lost in endless spirals of thought, but will see the path ahead clearly as it is lit by my light. The troubles that once left you confused, I will unravel knot by knot. The questions that have lingered without answers, I will respond to. Not merely with words, but by leading you into understanding and wisdom from above. I have not promised you an easy road, but I have guaranteed that every step you take will be firm, because I will guide you. You will come to know me, not as a vague idea, not as a distant doctrine, but as a living presence, near and overflowing with power and goodness. Each time you look back, you will see my fingerprints on every chapter of your journey, and your heart will be filled with awe, not because you did not believe, but because my goodness will far exceed even your boldest hopes. You will be amazed by my faithfulness, for even in the moments when you strayed, I never abandon you. I don't just want you to know me as God. I want you to know me as Father, the one who sits and waits patiently for your return, the one who calls your name in the night, the one whose love has never ceased for even a moment. My love does not fluctuate with circumstances, does not waver with emotions, and is never withdrawn because of your failures. It is the solid ground upon which you can build a new life. Anchor your soul in that love. When storms rage, remember I am still there. When voices accuse and criticize, remember that my voice holds the final authority. I know there are moments when you doubt yourself, when you wonder if you're good enough, strong enough, holy enough to walk with me. But I do not call the qualified. I qualify those I call. The strength you need will not come from your willpower. but from my Spirit living within you. The perseverance you long for will not arise from self-discipline alone, but from the trust you place in me each day. I will walk with you, not as a stranger, but as a faithful companion who never leaves your side. Live with a heart filled with holy expectation. Do not retreat into old memories, for I am doing a new thing, and if your heart is not open, you will miss it. Do not allow what is old to bind your soul. Let me renew every thought, every attitude, every reaction within you. I am rewriting your story with strokes of mercy, and I will not cease until the final page is etched with victory. And now, as your heart burns with sacred anticipation, as your mind is prepared to step into the radiant season of blessing I have prepared for you, I want you to pause and listen closely to the profound thing I am about to speak. My beloved child, it is not only in the difficult days, but even in the times of abundance, that I desire your heart to remain preserved in holiness and spiritual alertness, for it is not merely in lack that one may go astray. Sometimes it is in the overflow of blessings that the enemy draws nearer than ever, slipping through unnoticed cracks, whispering temptations beneath seemingly harmless coverings. Therefore, guard your heart like a watchman guarding a precious treasure in the darkness of night. Be wary of sweet yet hollow words, of things that appear good but do not come from me. When I open wide doors for you, other pathways may also arise. Paths not meant to uphold you, but to divert you from your eternal purpose. Do not let temporary success cause you to forget the one who held your hand when no one else was around. Do not let the applause of the world drown out my still, powerful voice, the voice that led you through the night and restored your soul when everything seemed to fall apart. Let my word become the steady anchor that holds you firm amidst the great sea of change. When the winds of attention, praise, and successive opportunities blow toward you, may your soul be anchored in the unchanging truths of who I am. Keep your spirit from being carried away by the temptation of self-satisfaction, the hunger for human validation, or the fear of losing what you've only just received. Remember that I am not only the giver of blessings, but also the keeper of your soul, protecting you from slipping into the subtle shadows that appear in the brightness of success. Do not allow any voice, not even the one within, to rise above mine. When whispers of doubt echo, when the enemy reminds you of your past, when your heart is unsettled by unclear things, step back, silence all the noise, and draw near to me. For I never stop speaking, not always in thunder or signs and wonders, but often in the gentleness of a father who never tires of his child. My voice will always lead you back to the path of life. No matter how far you've walked, I will not scold you, nor shame you, but I will instruct you with wisdom, correct you with love, and guide you with truth. Preserve the relationship between you and me like one tending a flame in the chill of winter. Do not let your heart grow cold when everything appears to be going well. It is precisely in those moments that you need me the most, not merely to overcome hardship, but to avoid losing yourself in the shimmer of fleeting glory. I know you, every weakness you carry, every hidden corner of your heart that others cannot see, and because I love you to the very end, I warn you in advance, so that you may not be swept away by the currents of success and trade your soul for the illusion of gain. Remember this, my child. Glory does not come from standing upon lofty platforms, but from preserving your purity and faithfulness even when no one is watching. I will continue to lift you up, not so you may be admired, but so that I may be glorified through every action, every choice, and every word that proceeds from your mouth. Those who come after you are not seeking an idol to exalt. They are longing for someone who knows how to kneel, and I want you to be that person. Not because you are perfect, but because you allow me to shape your heart. Day by day, stay near to me, my beloved. Do not let the distance between us widen simply because you are busy with the blessings I have given. Blessings were never meant to replace my presence. You were not created to chase after miracles, but to walk with the one who performs them. When you remain close to me, you will not only witness blessing, you will become a vessel through which blessings flow to others. You will hear my voice with clarity, not clouded, not uncertain. And in that sacred stillness, I will reveal things reserved only for hearts that dwell intimately with me. Do not fear the silence. Do not panic when the noise around you fades. It is within the silence that I will speak my deepest truths. It is in the quiet that I will plant seeds of revelation for the season ahead. Each time you choose to draw near to me instead of chasing emotion or human recognition, you are fortifying the foundation of your life upon the rock that cannot be shaken, and that foundation will sustain you when the storms return. For though you will not always walk through green pastures, you will never be alone in the valleys. Engrave this in your heart. I will never lead you where my grace cannot sustain you. Every step you take will be guided by the light of heavenly wisdom. I will not only show you what is right, but I will also grant you the strength to choose it. I will not merely point to the path. You will find me walking alongside you, stride by stride. Oh, my beloved child, I have never stopped caring about your heart. And if you can guard your heart, keeping it tender, humble, alert, and sincere, you will see me do the impossible through your life. The glory will not end with you. It will flow through you, exalting my name in places you never imagined. You are the instrument I cherish and use to express my love to a world that is withering in barrenness and shadow. From within you, rivers of living water will flow, not because they originate from you, but because the one who lives within you, my spirit, is the eternal wellspring. What I pour into you today, I also desire you to share tomorrow. Through your words, your actions, and your merciful presence, without seeking applause or the spotlight, I am equipping you not to store, but to pour. For no one can drink from a stream that has been dammed. I long for you to let that flow be free, unrestrained, and filled with my power. I will send those who are thirsty for healing to you, not so they may see you, but so that they may see me through you. You will become the answer to someone's unspoken prayer. Your eyes will become the mirror of compassion. Your hands will be the place where others find support. And your words will carry life, not because they are clever, but because they are anointed by my Spirit dwelling within you. You will become a bridge between heaven and earth, a place where people encounter truth and are transformed forever. But for a lamp to shine brightly, it must be placed on high and continually refueled. Do not allow the light within you to dim due to weariness or from ceasing to connect with the source. Each day you must return to me, not only to receive more, but to be refreshed. For no one can shine by their own strength. Only in me, the eternal light, can your spiritual fire remain ablaze. Do not let that light be smothered by fear, insecurity, or past wounds. The old scars do not disqualify your brightness. If you surrender them to me, I will transform them into oil that causes your lamp to burn even more fiercely. My child, your light does not need to look like anyone else's. I did not call you to imitate, but to reveal something unique that I placed within you alone. A color, a tone, a breath that bears my unmistakable mark. Beautiful and irreplaceable. Do not compare your lamp to the one beside you. You do not know what they carry in their hearts, and they cannot see the fullness of what I have planted in you. Be faithful to your own light, not because it is seen, but because it is summoned. And that light, when placed where I intend, will become a beacon of hope in the night for many silent hearts drowning in despair. I know there will be moments when you feel overwhelmed, as if you are not enough to carry the light. You will ask yourself, who am I that God would want to use me? But my beloved, it is precisely because you do not consider yourself enough that I have chosen you. It is the small vessels that are most easily filled, and it is the humble hearts that are most powerfully used. It is not your strength that causes the light to shine brightly. It is your complete surrender that allows my Spirit to express Himself without limitation. And when you trust me enough to step forward, even with trembling hands, I will transform each step you take into a sacred journey, one in which every word you speak and every act you carry out becomes a seed sown into the field that belongs to me. You will not walk alone in this divine commission. I will orchestrate sacred encounters, souls who are ready, hearts that are crying out. I will give you words fitly spoken, discernment for the moment, and courage that fits the hour. You do not need to know everything in advance, only that I go before you, clearing the way, walking beside you and preparing every detail, so that my presence within you may be made known. And even when no one acknowledges, no one sees, no one applauds, I see. I see every time you choose love over judgment, forgiveness over resentment, and boldness over retreat. And it is in those seemingly small choices that your light shines brightest, because it flows from true love. Keep your heart wide open, my dear one, not only to receive grace, but to become a channel through which grace flows. When you live as a vessel in motion, you will never run dry, because you are always connected to the source. And in the very act of giving, you will find a fulfillment far beyond anything you ever prayed for. Because no one gives without receiving. I am the one who never lets any labor go to waste, and every seed of love you sow will bloom into a radiant harvest, if not today, then tomorrow. If not in this world, then in eternity. So shine, my child. Do not concern yourself with whether your light is strong enough. If you allow me to ignite it, no darkness will ever extinguish it. The world does not need another hollow sermon. It needs a life that loves, listens, and forgives. And I am teaching you to be that kind of person. Your light is not about perfection. It is about truth. The truth that you are loved, forgiven, and sent. And, my child, when you walk in the light I have given you, When you let yourself become a stream of love and grace, you are sowing into the soil of this world eternal seeds. Seeds that may seem small, but are charged with the breath of my life. Never think that a kind gesture, a quiet embrace, a simple word of encouragement, or a moment of unconditional listening is meaningless, for every small act done with a sincere heart is recorded in my heavenly treasury. And I am the one who watches over that field, so that in due season I will cause those seeds to blossom in ways beyond what you can imagine. Even if your eyes cannot yet see the results, even if you do not hear a word of thanks, and even if no one acknowledges your efforts, do not let your heart grow weary. I am the God of justice, and I never forget anything done out of love. Love that expects no return, seeks no stage, and needs no applause. That kind of love, once sown, pierces through even the thickest walls surrounding the human heart, and one day, when you yourself have forgotten what you once gave away, I will show you the harvest of your life, and not merely a single bundle, but an entire field ripened in gold because of your quiet faithfulness. When you help others, remember that it is not because you are greater than them, but because I once stooped down to lift you when you had nothing to offer. When you give, let not your mind be entangled with the calculations of return. Give not with weighed hands, but with a heart that knows all it has is grace. Serve in the quiet, for it is in the quiet where I speak most deeply to your soul. Do not wait for convenient circumstances to do what is good, for you are not called to react to conditions, but to live according to the new nature I have placed within you. You were not merely born of dust, you were born of my eternal love. My breath is within you. And because you were born of love, it is your natural design to love. When you love, without demand, without condition, without holding back, you are living in alignment with the very purpose I created you for from the beginning. Do not wait for the world to love you first before you respond. Love first, because you do not live by reaction, but by the leading of the Holy Spirit dwelling in you. I know there will be times when you feel depleted, when you pour out and see nothing return, when you serve with an empty heart, when you love and are met with pain. But, my child, in those very moments, I want you to remember, true love never loses its value simply because it goes unanswered. For true love is not measured by response, but by motive. And if your motive is me, if it is reverence, obedience, and gratitude, then even if this world fails to see, heaven records and blesses. Give as one who has received from the deepest depths. Forgive as one who has known my embrace when forgiveness was undeserved. Open your heart as one who understands that if I did not withhold my only son, I will surely withhold nothing good from you. When you live this way, you step into the flow of heaven, and nothing can dry up the river of life flowing through the one I have chosen to carry it. The people you encounter on this journey are not by chance. Every soul that crosses your path carries within them a pain in need of healing, a shadow in need of light, and a silent cry that longs to be answered by your loving presence. Do not believe the lie that you are not enough. For I did not place you in these moments to rely on your strength, but to trust that I am sufficient. And even when you feel you have nothing left to give, know this: your very presence, a kind word, a sincere glance, That alone is enough for me to work a miracle. Remember, my child, you are not the reaper, you are the sower, and the faithful sower will rejoice in the harvest that I alone will bring. Do not let dry seasons close your heart. Do not let silence lead you to doubt. Do not let disappointment cause your hands to withdraw. Every seed you sow, whether a whispered prayer, a quiet meal, or a timely word of encouragement, is resting in my sacred soil, and I am the one who causes all things to grow in their appointed time. Continue to love, to serve, to give generously, not because you are striving to be a good person, but because that is the true nature of someone who has been transformed by me. You don't need to prove your worth through your deeds, but the things you do are evidence of a life changed by eternal love. And when others witness that in you, they will not merely see you, they will see me. And my child, as you keep sowing in love and living as a stream flowing from heaven, sacred moments will come, moments your heart can no longer contain. Moments when my grace seems to saturate every corner of your life. When you sit in the stillness and realize that the tears of sorrow you once wept have turned into tears of gratitude, that is when you touch the goodness that surpasses understanding. The goodness I have poured upon you from the very beginning. This is not something you achieved by yourself. It is the fruit of a journey I have walked with you, patiently, lovingly, and without ever leaving your side. In the moments when my presence overflows within you, when your soul is set ablaze with life, when what once seemed like loss is now replaced by abundance, do not forget to bow in thanksgiving. Gratitude is the key that keeps your heart beating in rhythm with mine. It is the cord that ties you to humility, the place where you remember that nothing you have comes from your own strength, but from my mercy, my provision, my guidance, and my protection. Let your praise rise not only when you receive what you asked for, but even as you wait, for even in the waiting I am working. Do not praise me only when the door swings open, but also when it remains shut, for true faith does not wait for proof to believe, but believes because it knows the one who promised is faithful. When you can give thanks in abundance and in lack alike, your heart will not fall into pride, nor into despair, for it is anchored in me, the one who never changes. And, my child, never presume you understand it all. Do not grow complacent in your own understanding, for human wisdom, no matter how vast, is but a grain of sand compared to the ocean of my wisdom. When you face crossroads, weighty decisions, or paths cloaked in uncertainty, remember that it is not logic, but the knowledge of me that lights your way. To know me is not merely a mental exercise, it is a way of life. It is when you pray, not only to be heard, but to be changed. It is when you seek me, not only because you are in need, but because you love me with all your heart. Let me walk with you on every road, from the mundane choices of daily life to the monumental decisions that shape your destiny. I do not guide you only through the storms, even on smooth roads, I go before you. When you invite me into every area of your life, every step you take will be protected. Every door that opens will bear the imprint of my will, and every person you meet will not be by chance, but by divine appointment. Be strong, my child. Not strong in the way the world defines strength, closed off, hardened, and self-reliant, but strong because you know you are never walking alone. Be courageous, because no matter how great the trial, I am still holding your hand. Let your bravery not come from favorable circumstances, but from the unwavering truth that I, the one who created the universe, am walking beside you. You can cross great rivers, for I am the one who parts the waters. You can stand in the fire, for I am the one who ensures it will not consume you. And you can face the future, for I am the one who wrote it, woven with love and eternal wisdom. Do not grow weary when you do not see immediate results. Seeds take time to root and bloom. And I, the keeper of seasons, never forget the season you sowed in tears. The days ahead are not empty or meaningless. They are crafted with purpose, plan, and my goodness. Each morning when you awaken, remind your soul, today, He is still writing my story. And if I have not stopped writing, then you must not stop hoping. My child, the days ahead are radiant, not because they will be free from trials, but because in every trial, my glory will shine ever brighter. You will look back and realize that every door that opened, every dream that was rekindled, every relationship that was healed, was all part of a grander tapestry I have been weaving. A tapestry not only meant to transform your life, but to reach the world around you with my love and presence through you. I have mapped out the course of your life even before you were formed. I know every day, every year, every season you will walk through. And not a single detail lies outside of my control. Even the things that confuse you today may one day become a piece of the puzzle. And you will look back and say, surely the Lord was with me there. So do not be shaken when everything around you changes, for I am the one who never changes. Do not be anxious when you feel unprepared, for I am the one who equips you with everything you need to step into your calling. You are not moving forward into the unknown, but stepping into what I have already ordained. And if I have decreed it, no force can stand in your way. Walk forward, not in haste, but in peace. Not by your own strength, but by the power of the one who lives within you. And as you lift your eyes toward the future, do not see it through the lens of fear, but through eyes illuminated by divine hope. And remember, everything you have, everything you are becoming, is by grace. There is nothing you did to earn it, but everything I give flows from my love. Keep your heart tender, so that it remains grateful. Let humility be the garment you wear each day, and walk not as one who is merely rescued, but as one who is sent into a season full of purpose, full of potential, and full of glory waiting to unfold. And now, my beloved child, as you continue walking the path I have set before you, as the flame of gratitude burns brightly within your heart, let me impress upon your spirit an unshakable truth. I am the Almighty God, the one who created the heavens and the earth with a single word, the one who holds the entire universe in my hand. And yet I am also the one who is closer to you than your next breath, nearer than the words you have not yet spoken. Though your eyes may not see me, though your soul may sometimes feel lost in the night, the truth remains unchanged. I am there, never absent, never distant. I am present not only in the brilliant moments, but in the quiet ones. Those moments you cannot even put into words. In the restless nights, in the weary sighs, in the silent tears that fall down your cheeks. Those are the moments I draw especially near, whispering not through sound, but through a peace that surpasses all understanding, a peace that comes only from heaven. My child, I know every beat of your heart, every secret you hold within, and I am working, even when it feels like nothing is happening. I am making a way, unraveling knots, forging connections, rebuilding what was broken. In silence, yet with unmatched power, when you walk in uncertainty, when chaos seems to surround you, remember that I am the light that never goes out. There is no darkness so deep that it can block the light of my presence from reaching your soul. I am the lamp to your feet, the pillar in the wilderness, the whisper in the gentle breeze, the warmth in your spiritual winter. I am still speaking, not always through loud declarations, but often through a sacred stillness that sharpens your spirit, deepens your awareness, and draws you closer to me. Let your heart be anchored in this truth. When you feel the weakest, that is when I am lifting you up with my mighty hand. The strength you seek is not something you must manufacture. It is something you receive when you wholly rely on me. You do not have to pretend to be strong. You do not need to strain to prove you are capable. For I know your limitations well, and it is precisely within those limits that I will pour out my power. When you acknowledge your need for me, that is when you are truly strong. Because there is nothing greater than a soul that leans on its Creator. And each day, as you open your heart to receive my word, through every page of Scripture, through every silent hour of prayer, through each moment spent reflecting on my eternal promises, your faith will grow like a seed taking root in fertile soil. My revelation will not come like a storm, but like a gentle rain, seeping deeply within, steadying your spirit so that it remains unmoved by the changing weather of emotion. My word is the bread of life, the refreshing water in a barren desert, the breath that revives your soul day after day. My love not only surpasses understanding, it also transcends every limitation you have ever placed upon yourself. Even when you feel you are not good enough, not holy enough, not faithful enough, my love does not change. It does not withdraw when you stumble, it does not diminish when you doubt, and it does not vanish when you feel dry and weary. My love is a river that never runs dry, a sky without borders, a flame that never goes out, and you do not need to earn that love, for it was already yours, even in the moments you felt most unworthy. Trust that my presence is not something distant, reserved only for the more spiritual. It is the very breath you inhale, the peace you sense in the middle of a storm, the steady assurance in the midst of uncertainty. You do not need to feel me for me to be there. You only need to believe. Believe that I am near, and that I will never let you walk alone. When you feel most alone, I am closer than you think. When you feel small, I still call you chosen. And when your world feels like a tangled mess, I am silently orchestrating all things, weaving every part of your life into a pattern far beyond human comprehension. There is no fragment of your life that is meaningless, no trial that is misplaced. Everything joy and sorrow, gain and loss, I am using as bricks to build something good for you. I did not promise you would be exempt from suffering, but I promised I would be with you in the midst of it, walking with you, enduring with you, and ultimately triumphing with you. I do not always calm the storms, but I will teach you how to walk upon the waves. I do not promise your life will be easy, but I promise you will never lack what you truly need. So, my beloved child, live each day as if I am truly beside you, because I am. Do not live according to fleeting emotions, but by the faithfulness of my unchanging truth. Let my promises be the foundation for every decision you make. Let your heart be still in moments of confusion by reminding yourself, the Lord is here. He is working, and He will never abandon me. No force, whether the shadow of sickness, the weight of lack, the sting of slander, or the schemes of the enemy, can stop the destiny I have ordained for you. You were not born to bow beneath the weight of failure, but to rise as one anointed, to walk boldly in the glory I have placed upon you. For my Spirit, the very one who raised the dead, who parted the seas, who made water burst forth from rock, is alive and active within you now, and by that power I have not called you merely a survivor, but a victor. Not a victory of the flesh, but a triumph of faith, a victory inscribed in eternity by my own hand, never to be erased. My beloved child, do not sit and wait for victory, as if it is still far ahead of you. Rise up and walk, as if you are already living in that victory this very moment. For truly, the victory is already yours. It is no longer a distant promise, but a present reality unfolding from deep within your soul. I want you to walk through this life as a witness to the triumph I have given you. You don't need to shout to be heard by the world. Just live with unshakable peace, with a light that does not dim in adversity, with faith that does not collapse in the midst of storms. And the world will know there is a living God moving and breathing within you. You do not need to prove anything to those who once doubted you. They may have mocked you, turned away from you, or declared that you were incapable. But they will be silenced in awe when they witness what I will accomplish in your life. They will see doors they thought had slammed shut in your face being opened in supernatural ways. They will see you walking paths they once believed you were unworthy of stepping upon, and in that moment, they will not be able to deny that it was I, the Lord God, who made it all possible. Live not to respond to the voices of man, but to reflect my glory. For the work I am doing in you is not merely to lift you up, but to awaken other souls through your testimony. Your victory is not a display of personal success, but a mighty echo from heaven, calling out to the ones still imprisoned by fear, by doubt, and by pain, urging them to behold the light and return to the source of life. When you share your victory, you are not just recounting a journey. You are opening a spiritual door for others to step into faith. You are planting seeds of hope in the dry and broken soil of hearts that have been wounded. And I will cause those seeds to sprout by my love, by my truth, and by the power of my Spirit dwelling within you. Do not fear when you still feel weak, for it is in your weakness that my power is made perfect. The more you recognize your limitations, the more you will experience my limitless strength. I did not choose you because you were flawless, but because I saw in you a heart that was willing. And I can do far more through a humble heart than through one filled with pride. You are the living testimony of my mercy and faithfulness. Every scar you carry is no longer a symbol of pain, but a medal of triumph. Every failure from your past is no longer a condemnation, but a platform for my glory to be revealed. Every moment you thought you would fall was actually a moment when I carried you and continued the journey by your side. And now, you are no longer the rejected one. You are the chosen, the called, the one set apart to fulfill the assignment I have entrusted to you. Do not hide the light I have ignited within you. Let it burn brightly and spread far and wide. For there are those walking in darkness who are longing for even the faintest flicker of light. You don't need to preach with words. Your life itself will become the most powerful sermon. When you love your enemies, when you remain patient in trials, when you forgive though you have every reason to be bitter, that is when people will notice something extraordinary in you, and that extraordinary presence is me. Beloved child, what I have begun in you shall not be left unfinished. I am not the one who changes midway. When I declared you a victor, no force in heaven or on earth can erase that identity. Even if you stumble, even if you lose your way temporarily, I remain here, holding you, restoring you, wiping your tears, and reminding you that you belong to me. Do not fear the winter, for spring will follow. Do not fear the night, for I am the dawn. And do not fear solitude, for I have never abandoned you, not even for a single moment. Now go, not in fear, but with conviction. Rise again, rekindle the fire within your heart, reclaim the song upon your lips, and let your eyes reflect the faith that once shone bright. For I have called you out of the darkness to step into the marvelous light of my presence. You are not only one who has been healed, but also a bearer of healing for others. You are not merely an overcomer, but a pathfinder for those still lost. And you are not just a carrier of victory. You are the very sign to the world that there is a God who never fails. My beloved, engrave this truth upon your heart. I, the one who has overcome the world, am with you, not as a distant memory, but as a living presence in every moment of your life. My victory is not a relic of the past, but the foundation of your present faith and triumph. I did not overcome the world only once. I overcome it again and again. Through every battle you face, through every silent tear you shed, and through every choice you make to stand when all around you tempts you to fall. My love is not mere words. It is the sustaining power that carries you each day. It is a love that does not grow weary, does not falter, and does not hinge on conditions. It is a love strong enough to calm the storms inside your heart, deep enough to fill the wells of doubt and despair, and enduring enough to hold on to you, even when you no longer have the strength to hold on to me. Do not look to me only when all is calm. Learn to recognize me even in the sharp turns and thorny paths, where my presence is sometimes revealed through silence, through waiting, or through dreams that seem to have crumbled. Pause for a moment. Look deeply into the smallest details of your life, and you will find my fingerprints. In every breath, in every seemingly random occurrence, in every person you cross paths with, each one is part of my loving design. Nothing is out of place. No moment is wasted. No circumstance is without meaning. I have woven all things together with divine intention to build your faith, to refine you in the furnace of truth, and to awaken in you a deeper love for me. A love that rises not only from songs, but from the living experience of walking beside the one who is always near. When you feel weary, when your soul begins to sink because you see no way forward, remember, it is in those very moments that I am closest. I do not watch from a distance. I step into your exhaustion and become the gentle breath that revives your spirit. When your tears fall, I do not merely wipe them away. I transform each drop into a sacred prayer rising to heaven. I do not overlook the pain you've endured. I use it to weave a new masterpiece, one in which you are no longer broken, but restored, no longer wounded, but strong, because you have walked through the fire and emerged whole. Believe in the plan I have for you, not a fleeting plan by the standards of this world, but a divine destiny that surpasses all human understanding. I do not lead you down the easiest path, but I lead you along the firmest one. At times I must guide you through barren lands so that the roots of your faith may grow deep. At times I must allow you to wander into fog and shadow so that my light may shine clearer than ever before. You will never fully grasp the value of light until you have walked through darkness. You cannot truly taste the sweetness of blessing until you have endured the bitterness of trial. There will be seasons in your life marked by lack, not only a lack of material things, but also emotional drought, loneliness, and answered questions. But my child, these are not signs that I have forgotten you. On the contrary, they are sacred invitations to return to me, closer, deeper, more intimately than before. The empty spaces within your soul are not for the world to fill, but for you to open to my presence. When you choose to return to me rather than chasing temporary solutions, when you choose to wait for me instead of acting out of haste, you are growing in spiritual maturity. A maturity not born from accumulating knowledge, but from deeper surrender. You will come to see that the uncertain seasons, when you don't know where to go, what to do, or why things are happening, are the very seasons in which I am silently realigning every detail of your life. I do not want you to merely follow the footsteps of others. I want you to walk by genuine faith, rooted in a personal and living relationship with me. And it is in those uncertain times that you will learn the most precious lesson of all: to trust me even when you cannot understand what is happening. My love is not only revealed in grand miracles, but also in quiet faithfulness. I am the one who never changes. I am the one who always keeps my word. Though time may stretch on, though waiting may wear your heart thin, the words I have spoken will never return void. Every word I have planted within your soul is a sacred seed. It will sprout in its appointed time, when the soil is soft enough, when the light is warm enough, and when you are ready to receive. So, my beloved, do not measure my love only by what your eyes can see. Learn to perceive it in the depths of your spirit. Let your heart pause each day to listen for my whisper in the quiet, and you will know I have never left. I am here, in every sigh, in every unfulfilled longing, in every quiet step you take along this life's journey. I am there, upholding, shielding, comforting you, and always reminding you, you belong to me, and I will never forsake you. My dear child, if today your heart feels shaken by hurtful words, anxious over troubling circumstances, or disturbed by those who approach with harmful intentions, pause for a moment. Remember that you do not walk through this world alone. You are covered by my love, like an invisible cloak that no weapon can pierce. It is in the very moments when your heart is most vulnerable that my love becomes your shield, your gentle breeze, and your refreshing stream in the desert of human schemes and pressures. Do you know, child, that whenever someone tries to disturb the peace I have placed within you, I myself step in between you and the chaos? No shout can drown out the stillness that comes from me. No scheme of the enemy can touch your soul as long as you stay hidden in my embrace. My presence is not something you must strive to find from afar. It surrounds you already, like the air that silently sustains your life. You do not need to see it with physical eyes. Simply trust in your spirit, and you will feel me, guarding every step you take. The joy I give you does not originate from outward circumstances, but from the very life I have placed within your heart. It is a supernatural joy, unshaken by situations, untouched by trials, and unable to be stolen by anyone. It is a deep, steady joy, quiet yet powerful, enough to keep you standing firm amid life's tempests. When everything around you seems to be falling apart, that joy ignites within you like a flame that never dies, for it is lit by my own spirit. Then, those closest to you, your family, your friends, the ones who have grown accustomed to your tears and your silences, will begin to notice that something has changed. They will see a new light in your eyes. They will see a smile upon your lips that does not resemble the smiles of before, a smile that does not arise from success or applause, but from a sacred place deep within your soul. They will sense the peace in you, not a peace you manufactured, but a peace that has been given by one greater than all understanding, by me. Even those who once spoke ill of you, who wounded you, who wished to see you fail, they too will have no choice but to watch in silence as the wonder unfolds in your life. They may not find the words to speak it, but they will know that you are being preserved by something they cannot comprehend, something they cannot shake. For your true enemies are not people, but the shadows hiding behind envy and hate, and they know full well they cannot breach the boundary I have drawn to protect you. You may not see it, but I have built a divine hedge around you, not of stone or steel, but of everlasting promises, of unwavering presence, and of a love that never runs dry. And around that hedge, I have stationed my angels. Not just one, but an entire host, mighty and watchful, standing guard over you day and night. They do not slumber. They never leave their post. They never grow weary. They move only by my command, and my command is this: protect the one I love, at any cost. Your family too is encompassed within that protection, not because you are flawless, but because you are loved. My love is not reserved for you alone, but it flows through you to those whom you hold dear. Each time you pray for them, those prayers become spiritual walls, powerful weapons that repel the destructive forces of darkness. You are not as helpless as you once believed, for the prayer of a righteous one, even when whispered in silence, has the power to shake the heavens. Do not be afraid of the events you cannot control. Do not let the chaos of the world, the rumors, or the storms outside cause you to question my faithfulness. Look back on the journey you have walked, How many times did you think you would collapse, only to rise stronger? How many moments did you believe you were breaking beyond repair, yet still you walked on, heart restored? That was not luck. That was my hand holding you, day by day, hour by hour, in moments you didn't even realize. I am your refuge, not a temporary escape, but a dwelling place where you can rest forever. I am your stronghold, not a shelter to flee to only in fear, but a fortress that assures you that no matter how fierce the battle rages, within these walls you are safe. You do not have to carry everything on your own. You do not have to be flawless to be protected. I do not love you because you are strong. I love you so that you may receive strength, and that very love is the impenetrable shield that guards you always. So today, if anything or anyone tries to disturb the peace within you, pause and breathe deeply in my presence. Close your eyes and feel the invisible arms that are holding you. Remember this: all of heaven is waging war on your behalf, holding you steady, pushing back every unseen trouble before it even reaches you. I have gone before you, I am walking beside you, and I will always come behind you, guarding your steps from injuries caused by what you cannot foresee. You are not preserved by chance, but by the love I chose to set upon you before the foundation of time. You need not fear anything, for with me, your peace is no longer dependent on the shifting tides of this world. It flows from a source that never runs dry. And you, my beloved, will walk through this life as a living testimony that the Lord God is your keeper, your defender, your loving Father, so much so that no evil can touch those who belong to Him. My precious child, listen to the divine promise I want to etch into your soul today. The season of suffering you are walking through will not last forever. The days soaked in tears will pass, and a new dawn will rise on the horizon. I will not leave you to dwell endlessly in darkness, nor allow your soul to be crushed under the weight of loss and deception, because you are a child of light, the one I have chosen, to rise from the ruins, to shine after the storm, and to sing a song of triumph upon the very ground where your tears once fell. I see the pain you cannot express. I understand the long nights you endure, the silent questions that echo in your heart. Why? When will this end? Am I still loved? And right there, in the depth of your doubt, I am still whispering, I have never left you. I am still here. Your tears have never been wasted, for I have collected each one like precious jewels, evidence that you did not give up, that you believed even when you could not see a way out. Now, my Spirit is gently guiding you through a transitional land, not so you can rush ahead, but so that you may be healed from every wound deep within. He will give you clarity, so you no longer walk in confusion, but discern what is true and what is counterfeit. You will no longer be swayed by sweet but empty words, nor be drawn into connections that I have not ordained. I will open your eyes to see through deception, to recognize those who wear the mask of a friend while hiding a dagger beneath. You will no longer be led by emotion, but by wisdom that comes from above. You have been hurt before by placing your trust in the wrong hands, but I will not allow that pattern to repeat. I will be the armor that shields your heart. I will stand between you and those who come only to exploit your kindness. No one will harm you if you choose to remain in my covering. Let me be the guardian of your heart's gate, for I know who is meant to stay and who you must release with peace. And my child, know this: nothing you are going through is without purpose. I am using your very pain to teach you what peaceful days never could. I am refining you in the fire, not to burn you, but to purify you, so that when you emerge you are no longer a victim of circumstance, but one anointed through adversity. You will not tremble in the winds. You will become a pillar of strength, a safe refuge for others who are searching for shelter. Those who tried to make you fall, those who laughed at your pain, will one day witness what only I can do. A restoration that does not come from man, but from my own hand. You will not need to retaliate. My justice will be your defense. They will come to realize their efforts were futile, for they were opposing one whom I protect. I will make it clear that you did not rise by your own might, but by a power that comes from heaven, and no one can stop the rise of a soul I am lifting up. Let your heart be still and steadfast. Do not fear the words spoken by men. Do not let your spirit be shaken by judgments or criticisms. For yes, I myself, will condemn every word that is spoken to harm you, every slander, every whisper of malice, every toxic phrase used to diminish your worth. I will render them powerless. You do not need to respond to every accusation nor explain every action, for my presence within you will be a clearer, stronger answer than any human word could ever be. Believe that I am placing you on a new foundation, a rock that cannot be moved, where you can stand without fear of collapse, and upon which you will rebuild your life with the certainty that comes from me. From this place, you will no longer be swept away by the winds, no longer fall under the weight of public opinion or betrayal. You will walk with restored dignity, with a faith refined through fire, and with a joy that is not born of this world, but flows from the kingdom of heaven. You will marvel when you realize this. The very things that once caused you pain will now become stepping stones on your path to glory. I am using every broken piece to build something new and beautiful within you. What others have called an ending, I call a beginning. What seemed to be a loss, I will transform into spiritual gain beyond measure. And my dear child, I am not merely helping you to rise again. I will lift you higher than where you once stood before you fell. For what I give is never a patchwork remedy, but full restoration. I will return to you the years that were stolen. I will cause your inner fields to bloom again after seasons of drought. And from your life will flow a stream of mercy, wisdom, and spiritual strength, not just for your own renewal, but to bring healing to wandering souls, just as you once were. My beloved one, I am not only removing what has wounded you, but I am preparing to surround you with those who will bring healing simply through their presence. People whom I have trained in secret, forged in the fires of adversity, and now I am sending them to walk beside you in love and truth. They are not coming to take anything from you, but to uphold you. They will not exploit your kindness, but will treasure it as a heavenly gift. Among them, you will find spiritual support, sincere companionship, and a kind of friendship that mirrors my own love. They will not weaken your faith. On the contrary, they will help it grow stronger. When you are weary, They will lift you up in prayer. When you forget that you are loved, they will remind you that you are chosen. And when you stand at a crossroads, they will not push you toward their will, but will kneel beside you to seek mine. These people are not sent to replace me in your life, but to remind you that I am still moving through human hearts. I have chosen to send them so that you will no longer walk alone, so that you will know that in the spiritual family I am building around you, there is support, there is companionship, there is life. Even your family will be touched by the new relationships I am establishing. These connections will not bring division, but unity. They will not teach you to speak words of bitterness, but will encourage you to preserve peace. You will feel a gentleness in the atmosphere, a calm in the conversations, and the tender presence of the Holy Spirit in every glance,